Hello, welcome to episode number 480 of the TEW 2020 Challenge Run. This is going to be Raw for week 2 of February 2024, and yeah, we're now on the road to the Elimination Chamber. We know that Cody Rhodes and Carmelo Hayes are going to be in the match, and we're going to find out 3 more tonight. Rated RKO are going to team up in the opening match to take on Grayson Waller and Dirty Dom, as well as Drew McIntyre facing Chad Gable. And we're also going to find out who's going to face Becky Lynch in Dublin, as Charlotte Flair and Sasha Banks go one-on-one in the main event to determine the next number 1 contender for the Women's World Championship. And we've got some more stuff to get into, but I don't think we've got anything else that we've announced beforehand. So yeah, without any more further ado, let's jump straight into tonight's show. Cody Rhodes, the WWE Champion, opens the show. And he goes, "So, Salt Lake City, what do you guys want to talk about?" So, I want to talk about the Elimination Chamber. Coming up in Dublin, Ireland, the final stop on the road to WrestleMania. Once roads to WrestleMania, they seem to be mapped out. And hell, I thought my road to WrestleMania was mapped out too. I was going to win back my WWE Championship. I was going to take it to WrestleMania. I was going to defend it against the Royal Rumble winner, who ended up being the Ring General, Gunther. Now, obviously, Gunther, he's not outright stated that he wants to challenge me for the WWE Championship, but he's got until Elimination Chamber to make his decision. But make no mistake about it, I'm not looking past the Elimination Chamber, because the Elimination Chamber is going to be one tough night. Because first, we'll have Carmelo Hayes, the former World Heavyweight Champion, in that match. You know, a man with a chip on his shoulder, a man who's got personal issues on his back, you know, attacking his best friend before he came to Raw. That's a new low, Melo. And in the Elimination Chamber, I know you're going to do anything it takes to walk out WWE Champion, take that championship into WrestleMania. I'm just going to here to let you know right now that won't happen, because I'm taking this championship into WrestleMania. And tonight we're going to find out 3 more of my challengers. We got Chad Gable, perhaps the most underrated superstar in the history of the WWE. Tonight he has an opportunity to state his claim at the Elimination Chamber by defeating Drew McIntyre, a man that I know quite well. Or perhaps myself and old Drew will have to go face to face once again inside that structure. And trust me, there are a lot of things I want before I would like to step back into this ring with a guy like Drew McIntyre. Then there's Randy Orton. You know, Randy, me and him go way back, right to the very start of my career here in WWE. A chance for me and Randy to go one-on-one inside that chamber for this. In Dublin, hell, that'll be a great moment too. And then there's Edge. Edge, you know, he's made it abundantly clear that he's on, you know, his final run here in WWE. He wants to end his career on his terms, and his terms say that he leaves as the WWE Champion. Well, Edge, bring your best, because if you aren't prepared to be the best, then you don't deserve to be WWE Champion, because this here proves that I am the best. And at the Elimination Chamber, bring anybody else you want. It doesn't matter, because I will be the one taking this championship into Philadelphia. I will wrestle, be it Gunther or Drew McIntyre or Edge or Randy Orton or whoever it may be. I'll take this championship into that night. I'll walk out of Philadelphia still World Heavy WWE Champion, and I'll continue my story. Out comes Grayson Waller and Dirty Dom. And he goes, "Cody, lad, you know, you're out here waffling like you do every single week, you know. We get it, you finish a story, twice now, you know. We know the repeat's never as good as the original, so there's no point you know, even bothering taking that championship in. You need to take that championship into the Elimination Chamber and drop that championship inside the Elimination Chamber. But there are 2 names you forgot to mention right now, Cody. It's almost like you're overlooking us, me and my best mate, Dirty Dom. You know, see, Edge and Randy Orton, they're yesterday's news, lad, you know. They ain't got what it takes to hang with the cool kids like me and Dirty Dom, you know. And we've got a chip on our shoulder, and we're going to be the ones who win tonight, and we're going to go to the Elimination Chamber and take that title from you." And Dominic goes, "Yeah, and I've got to prove that I'm not a joke, because that joke who eliminated me from the Royal Rumble, he got lucky. Because he walks around here with his hands in his pockets like everything's just so easy to him. Well, little does he know he's got a receipt coming his way. And Cody just chuckles. He goes, I see you've met Orange Cassidy. Oh, don't get it twisted. He's a hell of a competitor. Don't let the demeanor fool you. But I didn't overlook you two for no reason, Grayson and Dominic. Of course, I see great potential in both of you. And if you two were to come out on top tonight over Edge and Randy and punch that ticket to the Elimination Chamber, I'd welcome you being there. It's just, you really got to work on this attitude if you want to become WWE Champion, because you're not entitled to anything. But it's time to see if you boys can really hang with the best and see if you deserve to be in that Elimination Chamber. Then out come Edge and Randy for the opening match, which is Rated RKO against Dominic and Grayson Waller. Gets an 80. And I kind of expected better than that, but, you know, Edge he's declining. I think Randy might be as well. No, Randy's doing fine, actually. Okay. Yeah. But it is Rated RKO who do pick up the win. Edge pins Grayson Waller with a spear. So, you know, Edge and Randy will join Carmelo Hayes and Cody Rhodes in that Elimination Chamber match. 76 for Edge, 85 for Randy, 83 for Dominic, and a 77 for Grayson Waller. Yeah. Big win for the lads. We then cut backstage. Christian and Dijak are watching Edge and Randy's win. And Kathy Kelly approaches and goes, Christian, you know, Edge, your old best friend, gets a chance to become WWE Champion inside the Elimination Chamber. You know, what are your thoughts on what we just saw? Christian goes, Kathy, it's becoming a displeasure speaking to you every single week because all you want to do is come up to me and ask me about Edge. Okay, I am the Intercontinental Champion. All you want to do is talk about Edge. What championship does Edge have to show for it, huh? Nothing. Okay. And Kathy like, well, actually, you know, Dijak is the... What, Kathy? We share it, okay? We're co-Intercontinental Champions, okay? If that's too much to break your brain, let me slow it down for you. I carry the championship. Dijak carries the championship. We both are Intercontinental Champion. And I made it my vow before the Royal Rumble that I would go on to WrestleMania and I will become WWE Intercontinental Champion, the likes of which the Ultimate Warrior will be jealous. But I say, why? Why wait till WrestleMania, Kathy? You know, next week we're going to find out who's going to be the final participant in that Elimination Chamber match at WrestleMania. Not at WrestleMania, at the Elimination Chamber. And I'm going to win it. And I'm going to go on to Dublin. I'm going to become WWE Champion and hold both those championships simultaneously. And then Grayson Waller and Dominic walk into frame moaning about their loss. Like, you know, you can talk about the Elimination Chamber all you want, lad. It's a joke. It's a joke, lad. You know, like, you're not even going to put your two hottest stars, Grayson Waller, Dirty Dom, the two best mates, in that chamber match. It's a joke, isn't it? And Christian goes, you know, it's it's funny that you're here because, you know, Edge, obviously, he's a bit of a rival of mine, and you've just allowed Edge to enter that Elimination Chamber, which I do thank you for, because now, once I qualify for that match, I'll be locked inside that structure with Edge. And I'll finally get the chance to put him down once and for all. So thank you for your loss, boys. I really, really appreciate it. And Dijak sort of just glares at them as they walk off. They being Christian and Dijak, not Waller and Dom. It's like, yeah, you know, well, at least someone appreciates our defeat. Dominic goes, I know whose fault it is, Grayson. It's that orange guy, okay? Grayson Waller's like, Sheamus? What was he doing? Dominic goes, no, you know, the Pockets guy. But don't I hear he's wrestling tonight? We're gonna get our revenge. Finn Balor, pre-tape. He's sat in a dark room on a steel chair. Because Aleister Black. Last week you thought you'd send a message to me. A message to AJ, a message to the club. You know, you knew I wasn't there. So you knew you had AJ all alone. You assaulted him 3-on-1. My co-leader, my friend. You know, you did that. You sent a message not to AJ Styles, but you sent a message to me. And to say you sent a message to me is in itself kind of a stretch. Because it's not me you want, is it, Alistair? No. You see yourself as this unholy entity, this unholy being of darkness. You see yourself as someone who can hang with, the devil and live to tell the tale. So you made a very thinly veiled threat last week. You wanted the demon. At the Elimination Chamber, the demon's coming home. Dublin, Ireland will return into every single layer of hell. And Aleister Black, Balor, he's taking you down there with him. 71 rated tag team match. Slim, Shanky, and R-Truth in non-title action do defeat Gallows and Anderson. Shanky hits the big power slam and leg drop on Gallows to pin him in 8 minutes 20. 67 for Anderson, 60 for Gallows. Fucking 80? Nah. If Gallows was getting an 80, then, he'd be getting a big push. Gallows Club, all that. And a 61 for both the champions. Which, I guess, that coming to 71 is fine. And after the match, Titus O'Neil gets on the mic. Goes, so, it seems that Titus World Records is going worldwide. Because, Logan Paul, you may know him for such hits as, oh god, the list of controversies I could say about that guy goes on and on and on. He's bringing his business partner, KSI, to Dublin, and he wants to challenge Slim Shanky and Titus O'Neil for the Raw Tag Team Championships at the Elimination Chamber. Well, Logan, Slim and Truth, they didn't bust their ass to get from the very bottom all the way to the very top just to drop these championships to two has-been boxer, YouTuber, hybrid ripoffs. They fought and clawed to put Titus World Records on the map. And at the Elimination Chamber, you look at us and you look at easy pickings to make yourself a champion in WWE for the first time. Well, I say, bring the fight. Because you may have stepped into the ring of a lot of great people across your multiple avenues of your career, but you've never stepped foot into the ring with a giant like Shanky, a veteran like R-Truth, like Titus World. And then we can say like Logan Paul on the time and go, hey, boys, come on, look at this. It's the Titus guys. And it's Logan Paul and KSI like on set somewhere like in LA or whatever. Because hey, I'd love to have been there tonight, but quite frankly, we're too busy to fly down to Salt Lake City. So, we'll see you in Dublin. When we knock you out and take those championships, you keep them nice and warm for us. And hey, maybe we'll even write a song about it because, I hear that's the cool thing to do over here right now. And, Titus World Records, our record is going to come at the expense of you. Because you're going to be the answer to the trivia question of who did Logan Paul knock out to capture his first championship in WWE. After just a year, already proving I'm better than every single one of y'all. See you in Dublin, boys. But then cut back to, it's the anime house bit. We get the shot of it, empty. Tumbleweeds, you can just hear the wind, whistling through it, it's... Nobody's there, of course, when Sensei and Dio walk in. And Dio goes, listen, you're gonna have to talk. I know nobody else wants to hear from it, but after everything that we've been through together, I thought I'd at least hear you out. And Sensei sort of stops and goes, Dio, I do truly appreciate that, and as much as I'd love to have you get through to Manny and Saray and all the other guys, I understand the pickle I've put myself in here. I understand their frustrations with me. And Dio goes, so why do it? Okay, all this time, why did you steal it and keep it hidden from us? And Sensei goes, because of this. Because I knew this would be how you guys would react. Okay, Listen here, Dio. Since SummerSlam, since the pendant went missing, I'm Cruiserweight Champion. I've not lost a match since SummerSlam. Sarray and Zelina, they were the tag team champions. And you know when they lost them? When I wasn't around. You and Manny got the shot of the Raw Tag Team Championships. I couldn't be there for that match and you lost. Do you not get it, Dio? We're winning. And we're winning because of this, because of me. So I took it because I knew that this would be the turn of fortunes that my Wrestling Academia needs. But I also knew that I was sort of, doing something I shouldn't be doing. And I knew that if you found out, this would happen and we'd end up in the position we're in currently right now. And he was like, well, that's a lot of information to take in, so I understand everything. You want what's best for my Wrestling Academia, and what's best for us is to win. And with this, we have the power to win. But Sensei, you have to understand that this doesn't give us control of our own future. Sure, me and Manny would love to be tag team champions, and more. You'd love to keep that Cruiserweight Championship, and Sarray and Zelina, they'd love to be tag team champions as well. But it doesn't feel like we should be champions if you're pulling this kind of witchcraft. Okay? If we're not good enough to be tag team champions, then we shouldn't be the tag team champions. And now you're sitting here with this. And how long have you known? And Sensei goes, it's been... I don't like hiding it from you, but I couldn't let Joe Gacy have it, okay? And Joe Gacy knew where it was. Joe Gacy knew I had it this whole time. That's why... And Dio's like, that's why what? Is that why he was trying to fight us this whole time? Because he knew you had this? And Sensei just sadly nods. And Dio goes, I can't believe this. You know what? Keep it. I'll go. Me and Manny will go win the tag team championships by ourselves. Because we don't need to deal with this anymore. Dio slams the door shut. And then we sort of just linger on Sensei. Upset in the empty anime house with the pendant just sat on the table glowing. And the Cruiserweight Championship sat next to it. Oh my god, Carmelo Hayes. Jesus Christ. Mello comes out. And he's got a microphone. And he goes, I know it is what you all want me to come out here. And I want you to hear me out. Because there's something that's been on my chest for months now. That I know you've been dying to hear my explanation for. And I'm finally going to explain to you why I did what I did. You see, I lost the World Heavyweight Championship back at SummerSlam. And with Montez Ford and LA Knight, they were passing that championship around, keeping me excluded from that. And Adam Pearce, quite frankly, he never respected me over on SmackDown. So I knew if I wanted to become world champion again, my best bet was to come over to Raw, and that's why I spoke to Batista, I spoke to Pearce, and I got myself traded over here so I could become WWE champion. And I'm gonna do that at the Elimination Chamber. And the crowd started booing him. And he goes, what? He goes, what did you want an explanation of me out of, huh? Oh, I know. I understand now. You want to know why I attacked Trick? Or why, I should say, I paid off Omos to attack Trick? That's quite simple. I'm him. Trick ain't him. Trick wouldn't be where he is if it wasn't for me, okay? Trick was riding my coattails the entire time. The only reason he even got near championship gold was when he was trying to win those tag titles for us. Okay? So now, Trick, If you are who you say you are, whoop that trick. All I did was step out of your way. I don't see what the big deal is personally. You think you're the hero? I graciously moved over to Raw to give you spotlight, Trick. And now here you go. You're angry at me. 'Cause of what? 'Cause I attacked you, Trick? Is that why? Well, listen up. That's how it be in this business. We don't get in this business to be brothers, to make friends. We're here to win titles. I've won titles. I'm gonna win more titles. You being my sidekick, you were never gonna win titles, Trick. And now, you're all by yourself. So it's really time to see if tricking ain't easy. Or if it is in fact rather easy to be tricked into believing the hype around a fraud. Now as for me, as for him, I'ma go to the Elimination Chamber. I'ma beat Cody Rhodes' ass. I'ma beat Randy Orton's ass, Edge's ass. Drew McIntyre or Chad Gable, whoever gets in, beat their ass too. And I'ma walk into WrestleMania this year the way I should have, as World Champion. Then cut to Jade Cargill and Malcolm Bivens backstage with Kathy Kelly. She goes, Jade, up next you're in a match. But, first I wanted to get your thoughts on, Liv Morgan over on ECW. Because Liv Morgan she's got heart. There's a lot of things I can say about Liv Morgan. And one thing I can say for sure, Kathy Kelly, is that she has heart. And what a heart it is. She doesn't back down from any challenge. Hell, she had her leg assaulted back at Holiday Hell and still wanted to go against that bitch, Jade Cargill. But, referees and doctors probably advised against that, which, Liv, that was the right thing for you. Okay, you would have been embarrassed. And now, apparently she's fully healthy. And apparently she wants to have another crack at Jade's championship at the Elimination Chamber. What, because Shida, her friend, got her the chance opportunity? Liv, listen to me, okay? Shida ain't shit. She's pretending, okay? She got you the championship so that you could get destroyed once again by Jade Cargill, because that is what will happen. Okay? You may believe in yourself, but nobody else does. Jade Cargill doesn't believe that you can beat Jade Cargill. Hikaru Shida doesn't believe you can beat Jade Cargill. None of these people believe that you can beat Jade Cargill. You're being set up, babe. Open your eyes. And then Jade takes the mic and goes, and as for me, Kathy, it doesn't matter who I'm in the ring with tonight, because they're all gonna fall exactly the same way, because when the most dominant superstar in the women's division here in WWE steps into that ring, everybody gets put on notice and everybody gets put down. And then she turns around and bumps into Rhea Ripley. And they have a face-off. And Rhea goes, I've caught you running your mouth a lot recently. I don't believe the hype. Want to call yourself the most dominant superstar in the women's division one more time? Do it. See what happens. And she sort of just walks off. And Jade Cargill wants to get into a fight, but Bivens is like, oh, you got a match. And then, Jade goes out for her match. Gets a 70. She beats Danny Jordan in 7:25 with Jaded. 68 for Jade Cargill, 65 for Danny Jordan. And 70 for that match is actually decent, considering they both scored under 70. Then cut to Batista in his office with the New Day. He goes, you boys are the last people I need to tell. So next week we're having our final Elimination Chamber match qualifier. And the new final contender will be determined in a fatal 4-way match. That match will consist of AJ Styles, Baron Corbin, Christian, and Xavier Woods. And Woods, I've seen you've come up very close to becoming champion a lot of times over the last couple of months. I believe in you. I need you to win that fatal 4-way next week to prove my beliefs right. I need you to go to Dublin. I need you to win that Elimination Chamber and become WWE champion. And Woods sort of takes it and he goes, thank you, Batista. it's an honor to be in that Fatal 4-Way next week, but I'm not looking past that match. But I do believe, with Kof and E by my side, I can become WWE Champion. And by the end of 2024, Dave, I will be. And then see Imperium, Ludwig, Kaiser, and Vinci, no Gunter, just these two, you know, in a pre-tape, you know, attacking people. And Ludwig goes, "The Ring General Gunter cemented his dominance back at the Royal Rumble, and now he will go on to WrestleMania to challenge for a world championship of his choosing. But myself and Giovanni, we currently sit here with no championship goal around our waists, and I think it's time for that to change. It's time for Imperium to regain control. Titus World Records, Logan Paul, whoever may be the Raw Tag Team Champions, you have officially been put on notice because Imperium are coming to become 2-time Raw Tag Team Champions." So yeah, just a Tag Team Championship claim from Vinci and Kaiser. You know, Imperium dominance they want, basically. And Gunter's got a title match, so yeah. 84. Yeah, that's kind of disappointing. Okay. Gable, Drew, go 17:30. And tragically, it is Drew McIntyre who puts him down with a Claymore in 17:30 to punch his ticket to the Elimination Chamber. Gable, he's got a 93, the same rating as Drew. He recently, in terms of like admin stuff in the game, bulked up. He's now a ripped middleweight. Gable, that is, not Drew. Drew's already been a ripped light heavyweight for a while. But in doing that you know, size increase, his star quality has jumped up by a couple of points, which now means it's now within reason to elevate him higher up the card because his pop cap will be higher. So, you know, he may have lost here tonight, but long term he'll be fine. But yes, Drew McIntyre will join Cody, Carmelo Hayes, Randy Orton, and Edge in the Elimination Chamber, with the winner of that 4-way taking the final spot next week. Speaking of that 4-way, we get a quick promo from Baron Corbin. You know, starts with the video of him burning, you know, all of his old gimmicks and shit. And he goes, "For years, the name Baron Corbin used to be feared. In NXT and on WWE, when you heard the name Baron Corbin, you knew a beating was on its way. But somewhere along the line, I got lost. I tried all sorts of things, you know, to get me going again, to reignite that fear. I became king. I became a constable. I became happy. I became crypto. But none of those seem to work. Which is why now I know what I have to do. I have to rely on nothing but myself. Burn my past. And burn all ships." Becky comes out for a promo. And she goes, "You know, the main event tonight, you're going to see Sasha Banks and Charlotte Flair, 2 women that I know all so well. They're going to battle it out to determine who's going to move to my hometown Dublin to wrestle me for the WWE Women's Championship. Now, you know, WrestleMania, always a special day on the WWE calendar. But to me, my own WrestleMania is taking place at the Elimination Chamber. My friends, my family are going to be in attendance to watch me whoop either Sasha Banks or Charlotte Flair's ass one more time and punch my ticket to WrestleMania as the Women's Champion. But it's what awaits at WrestleMania that I'm still awaiting on, because if I beat Charlotte or Sasha in Dublin, that's everybody, you know. Bayley, she could pop back up again. You know, Florence, the Royal Rumble winner, she's been looking at me funny. I'll have to smack her in the mouth. But yeah, you know, Elimination Chamber is going to be the greatest night in the history of my career. It doesn't matter if it's going to be Sasha or Charlotte. Whoever I stand across the ring from on that night is going to be making history with the man, because it'll be the world record for greatest hometown victory in WWE history. Out comes AJ Lee and Kelsey and Emery. And AJ goes, "Oh, Becky. You're running your mouth an awful lot out here. I thought I'd just come out here to, set things straight with you. First of all, why? Welcome to my humble abode. This is my ring. It's been a while since you've been around here, me and you haven't really been face to face for a while. But one thing that you've said really, really didn't sit right with me is that you said that if you beat Sasha or Charlotte at the Elimination Chamber, there's nobody left for you. Well, you do believe that, don't you, Becky? Because, your household sure does love to spoil WrestleMania main events, huh? They sure does love to take away opportunities from those in my household who deserve them. So, I hear you running your mouth. I respect it. Don't get me wrong, I respect it. I used to be in your position when I used to carry this division on my back, 10 years ago now. I was in the same position as you were. But I look at you now, and I don't see the man. I see, a cry for help. Because you could have come back to this division and you're sitting on top of this division, my division. And you still seem lost. You still seem like, you're just running back Becky's greatest hits. Is that really what you want from yourself, Bex? Huh? You really gonna sit here and, talk about the greatest night of your career and your friends and family watching? Or are you gonna take matters into your own hands? You gonna smack me in the mouth, huh? Because I'll tell you what, Bex, I do want a shot at that championship, and I will get one, whether it's at WrestleMania or not. Because, what I see when I see you, I see a pretender. But what, Anne-Marie and Kelsey right now see, they don't see a pretender. They see a little fly who's, flown away into, our web once again. And, well, girls, you know how to deal with this little fly. Then Anne-Marie and Kelsey jump into the ring. They start attacking Becky 2-on-1. Out storms Florence from the back. She comes out, she tosses Kelsey to the floor, hits her with a big clothesline. Becky hits a Bexploder on Anne-Marie. And then, holla holla player tag match. It's going to be Florence and Becky against Anne-Marie Porter and Kelsey Cook. Gets an 88, holy shit. Becky and Florence do win. They beat Anne-Marie and Kelsey. Florence pins Kelsey Cook with a rain flow. 90 for Florence, 95 for Becky, 83 for Anne-Marie Porter, and a 63 for Kelsey Cook. So I had to get AJ out there. It's not like she's not the WrestleMania opponent or anything. I just had to do the segment because, 2 reasons. One, I wanted a heel tag team to get in there so I could do Florence and Becky teaming up. And I, wanted to do the wink wink haha reference to, Becky and Seth and AJ and Punk. So yeah, but it is Becky and Florence who pick up the win here. We then see the women, specifically the tag teams, we're getting all fired up. Maybe even taking turns of cutting promos, because next week there's going to be a 4-way tag team match where the winners will get a shot on the following week's Raw, which will be 2 days after the Elimination Chamber, against either Io and Dakota or Piper and Tegan for the tag titles. So yeah, those 4 teams are Zoe Stark and Sol Ruca, Roxy Perez and Kairi Sane, Shayna Baszler and Carmella, and Tam Paxley and Ivy Nile. Tam and Ivy, of course, are in action on Heat against Alba Fyre and Iona Webb, because we did announce a Heat match ahead of time. But yeah, just a quick advertisement for that next week. We then cut backstage. Kathy Kelly, her guest is Orange Cassidy. And he's just chilling in Gorilla, leaning up against the wall. And she goes, tonight you've got a match against Tyler Breeze. How you feeling heading into that match, Orange? And he sort of just sticks his thumb up. And Kathy goes, good, I guess that's all, Anything else you want to say to the WWE Universe watching at home? And he just stands there, says nothing. And he looks he's going to speak. And then Dominic walks in. He goes, what's up, Orange guy? What, acting too cool to be here again? You know what? You know who you remind me of? My dad. No, I'm serious, you do, because he didn't want to be around me either. Okay? He did whatever it took to get away from Dominic Mysterio, and you're doing exactly the same thing. I think you're scared of me. I think you're scared of Grayson. I think you're scared of even Tyler Breeze tonight. And this whole not caring thing, it's a charade. And Dominic walks off, and Kathy Kelly puts the mic back up to Orange Cassidy's mouth. And he just turns to Kathy and just goes, he's a dick. And then he walks up for his match with Tyler Breeze. Gets a 75. Yeah, Orange Cassidy defeats Tyler Breeze in 10:40 with a super kick. 58 for OC, 70 for Breeze. And yeah, another win for Orange Cassidy. But he celebrates, well, I say celebrates. He, wins the match and stands around and poses after the match, when he's jumped by Dominic Mysterio and Grayson Waller, who 2-on-1 him. And they call Tyler Breeze up. And Breeze, he joins in on the attack, so it's a 3-on-1 attack. Dominic Mysterio and Grayson Waller and Tyler Breeze all beating up Orange Cassidy, when out storms Sheamus and outstorms Rey Mysterio from the back to even the odds and chase him off. Sheamus probably broke kicks Grayson Waller. Rey tries to get a dom. Breeze also, scurries away. And then Sheamus and Rey help Orange Cassidy to his feet. And he just, gives them a thumbs up and then rolls out of the ring himself. But yeah, Sheamus and Dom have had a lot of issues recently, dating back a couple of months. Rey, of course, will always be on hand to feud with his son. But yeah, a weird little six-man forming here, interestingly. We then move on to next week's show, which will be the go-home show for the Elimination Chamber. And we do have 2 matches that we know for that show, the first being, as we announced earlier on tonight, a fatal 4-way tag team match to determine who will be the next challengers for the Women's Tag Team Championships. It will feature Roxy Perez and Kairi Sane, it will feature Sol Ruca and Zoe Stark, it will feature Shayna Baszler and Carmella, and it will feature Tatum Paxley and Ivy Nile, with the winners facing the champions, whoever they may be, in 2 weeks' time. And we have a Fatal 4-Way, last chance Fatal 4-Way, or not really a last chance because neither of these have lost yet, but for the last spot in the Elimination Chamber, it will be AJ Styles, Baron Corbin, Christian and Xavier Woods to determine who will join Cody Rhodes, Carmelo Hayes, Randy Orton, Edge and Drew McIntyre in that Elimination Chamber. And speaking of the Chamber, we now have the updated graphic featuring all of the confirmed names in that match so far, as just announced. Cody Rhodes, Carmelo Hayes, Edge, Randy Orton, Drew McIntyre, and the final spot, which will be determined next week. We also know for the Raw Tag Team Championships, it will be KSI and Logan Paul teaming up to face Titus World Records' Slim Shanky and R-Truth in Dublin. Plus, the call has been answered as Aleister Black and the Demon Balor will go one-on-one in Dublin at the Elimination Chamber. And just announced now, a 6-man tag team match set for Elimination Chamber. Grayson Waller, Dominic Mysterio, and Tyler Breeze teaming up to face Orange Cassidy, Sheamus, and Rey Mysterio. 85 rated main event. For this match, Becky's on commentary. I know we've seen her already tonight, but she's coming back out for commentary. It's Sasha and Charlotte. You know how Sasha versus Charlotte. Do you know how that works by now? It's a television match between these two. But yeah, Becky's on commentary, probably drinking lemonade or some shit, taking the piss. When we get the usual spot of the fight brawls to the outside, Sasha starts mouthing off to Becky. And, Becky gets up, starts shouting back at her. Sasha ducks a big boot. Charlotte ends up big booting Becky, taking her down. That classic spot. And then, Charlotte and Sasha, they return to the ring. Charlotte locks in a figure 8 on Sasha. And it looks like Sasha's about to tap when Becky sort of gets up, throws the lemonade in Charlotte's face, obviously blinding her temporarily. And Sasha then rolls her up. 1, 2, 3. The referee didn't see Becky's interference. And Sasha is the one going to Dublin to face Becky Lynch, not Charlotte Flair. They both score 88s. And yeah, Becky and Sasha just felt like both these matches have been done to death. Trust me, I'm aware that every combination of these matches has been done to death, but if you can just hear me out until WrestleMania, then, there's a draft coming after WrestleMania. Yeah. But it felt like Sasha and Becky had been done less. But I also toyed with Charlotte getting this shot, because Becky and Charlotte in Dublin felt like cool, because it's Dublin and it's Becky and Charlotte. But I resisted, and Sasha makes more storyline sense as well. So yeah, it is Sasha Banks and Becky Lynch at the Elimination Chamber for the WWE Women's Championship. Charlotte, she's not happy. She's probably throwing the announce table apart at ringside, and then we end the show with Becky and Sasha staring down. Becky lifting the championship up high. When Charlotte slides back in, shoves Becky, she bumps into Sasha, they both fall over and all that shit. And Charlotte's getting angry. And, Sasha thinks Becky hit her, all that shit, Tension already heading into Dublin. Which ends tonight's show, which gets us a 91. Pretty fine show, if I'm honest. It wasn't the best Raw, but it did advance a couple of things I wanted to advance. And yeah, I think Raw really is lacking something. I don't know what that something is, though. Like, they've got the core people I like the main eventers on Raw are sick. And then you've got the fun stuff on Raw that I like the anime guys and Orange Cassidy and all that shit. But I think there is something. I don't know what the answer is. But yeah, maybe Raw is your favorite show. Maybe you thought this show was better than any SmackDown ever. But, it's just... I can give my thoughts as well. And in my mind, Raw feels the most vanilla of all the shows. Which, I guess, does give it its own identity in a way. Because Raw is like the vanilla 3-hour show. SmackDown is the Queendom show. And ECW is the 2-hour wrestling show. But, yeah. But again, it has got, Randy Orton, Edge, Drew McIntyre, Cody Rhodes, Carmelo Hayes, that's where we'll get interesting more so after the Chamber. Yeah. But, tangent aside, moving on to Heat. Heat kicks off with Toxic Attraction storming into Brandy's office. And Brandy goes, "Hey, girls, can I help you?" And she goes, "Yeah, I see this is another week of Toxic Attraction not being booked on Heat. The show we basically made our own. And now, here we are, not on the show once again, Brandy. When is opportunity going to come to Toxic Attraction. Hell, we could do a better job running this show than you could. Brandy goes, girls, it's been a busy night. Okay, we got Albra and Iona against Tatum and Ivy in the main event. Got a bunch of other matches we got to get through tonight. But next week, I've got a couple of girls that are looking to break out here on Heat. So, you three seem like the perfect opponents for them. Mandy goes, yeah, better keep that promise because I don't like the way we're being treated around here. The new and improved Toxic Attraction was supposed to be better than the original. But that can't be the case if you're not going to let us get off the ground on this show, Brandy. Brandy goes, yeah, well, okay. $61 rated opening match. Fallon Henley gets another win. She beats Skylar in 8:57 by pinfall. 51 for Fallon Henley, 59 for Skylar. They've got pretty good chemistry, apparently. So, that's a thing. Mickie James was at ringside. Aaliyah was at ringside, but of course her phone does go off during the match. And she runs off to take a phone call. And Darcy distracts Skylar, which allows Fallon Henley to pick up the win. And yeah, another big win for her. Well, not big win, but a win for Fallon here on Heat. After the match, we catch up with Skylar and Aaliyah and Danny Jordan in the back. And Aaliyah says, well, it's been a rough day for both of you girls. First Jordan lost to Jade, and now Skylar, you lost to Fallon. And she's like, yeah, well, where the hell were you, okay? What's so important on this phone? I thought we got over this, okay? So, and Aaliyah's like, well, I don't have to tell you anything, okay? I'm my own person. Like, you're not the boss of me. So, what I do and who that was and who I'm speaking to is none of your business. But quite frankly, if you want to make it your business, then I ain't got no problem doing that either. And then Aaliyah sort of storms off. And then Jordan's like, well, what the hell's her problem? And so I don't know. They get a 69 rated match here. Nice. Indy Hartwell against Shantae Washington, again with the respective tag team partners at ringside. Indy has Persia out there and Shantae has Naomi. And it is, through dubious means when Persia is telling Indy, to crack Shantae, like, illegally with something, maybe a weapon or something, I don't know what. Or like an exposed turnbuckle or something nefarious. Indy finally does, go, fuck it, why not? And does cheat to defeat Shantae Washington. Indy gets a 64, Shantae gets a 61. But yeah, Persia being out there, gassing Indy up, led to her actually cheating to win here tonight, which is a win for Indy Hartwell. 73 rated match. Mackie takes on Chelsea Green. Mackie does win with a diving headbutt in 10:52. 74 for Mackie, 55 for Chelsea. Yeah, just need another match to fill time. Mackie lost to Jade last week, so give her a rebound win because I think she is she's either at the top of well known. I think she did creep into actually being a star at one point in terms of like perception. So I need to start booking her like it because she's still been booked like a comedy mid-carder. Because, when I bought them in 3 years ago, nearly 4 years ago at this point, actually, holy shit, they were my pet fucking mid-card project, and, I've done a good job of keeping them at that mid-card level instead of, putting them in the main events, because they're not a main event act, but, they're a fun mid-card act. They're a staple of this series at this point, so, they're still got to be booked decently well. We then cut backstage to Shantae, to Persia and Indy. It's like, see what I mean? See what happens when I'm out there with you? You won, Indy. I told you to drop this nice girl act and maybe start, getting down and dirty, and look at that. You finally have a win under your belt. Okay, and whose fault is that? Who's the man? And then Indy's like, you're the man, Persia. It's like, yes, see? And this is just the start, okay? Because if you keep on, winning, then eventually you can be a champion in no time, whether it be a Liberty champion or whether it's a me and Jew as the tag team champions. And Indy's like, okay, I see what this is now. Like, you're trying to, use me to get a tag team championship. Persia goes, no, I want you, my best friend, Indy Hartwell, to win. Okay, because you were struggling. And then Shantae and Naomi do storm in. Naomi's pissed off. I actually imagine Shantae's sort of just like, shit happens, I get it. But Naomi's the angry one. She goes, what the hell was that? Okay. And he goes, listen, I really need this win, okay? Naomi goes, yeah, we really need this win as well. Now you're out there cheating. Persia goes, you're just mad that, she didn't get caught. Okay, it's only cheating if you get caught, and the record books say that Indy Hartwell beat Shantae Washington, so what are you going to do about it, huh? Yeah, because what I'm going to do about it is next week here on Heat, I want to beat your ass. And Persia's like, fine, challenge accepted. So yeah, Persia Raw and Naomi, 1-on-1 next week on Heat. We're setting up a match on Heat a week ahead of time. Unheard of that. Then our main event gets a 69. I know it probably wouldn't be the best because Isla Dawn's in it and she's not very over. But Alba Fire does pin Ivy Nile with the Gory Bomb in 12:42 to win the match for the Witches. Pax has her, her eye patch on because she's still got fireboard in the eye all those weeks ago. And Ivy Nile takes the fall. Yeah, 49 for Iona Webb, 75 for Alba Fire, 66 for Ivy, and a 68 for Tatum. And that ends Heat. Actually, kind of a long episode of Heat today, Kind of nice. Because we've got stories developing on Heat now. We've got whatever the fuck is wrong with Mandy Rose and Toxic Attraction. We've got the Aaliyah phone gate. We've got the Indy Hardball stuff. And we've just wrapped up the Witches stuff. But yeah, what matters more is what you thought of the show, of course. Do let me know what you thought in the comments below. And I'll see you next time for ECW. See you then.